everyone, and welcome again to the Doctor Show. I'm Dr. Zahra Jumaili here, and today, as every day, we talk about medical care, we talk about diseases, biology, anything related to science, basically. So in order for you to watch our previous episodes or ask us any question you have been wondering about, please find us on social media and we'll be there to answer your questions. Today's episode is very, very short, it's very right to the point, and we'll be done with it right away. What is it? We talk about the very common two skin diseases that people have. The first skin disease that we're going to talk is chickenpox. I'm sure 90% of you watching, even me, we've had chickenpox at least in our childhood, or maybe you're still in school, suddenly you see all your friends have chickenpox and you have it too. Why does it happen? Why would it happen? How does it get transmitted? And we're talking about it right now. So what is chickenpox? It's a skin disease that is caused by a virus called Varicella zoster virus. This virus actually is very, very, very highly contagious. What does it do? It actually gets by contact, gets from one person to another by actual skin contact or by air droplets. So it's either by the breath or by contacting a person immediately. And the skin disease could actually show from 10 to 12 days from the time of contact. So it actually could take some time until you have the symptoms of chickenpox. What is the chickenpox? 2 days before the rash appears, usually it's like dots of rash appear to all of your body. It could start from the head, from the trunk, it depends on the person. But 2 days before, you'd start to have a lot of tiredness and malaise. Malaise means all your body is tired. So general tiredness in your whole body, and then suddenly you have a high fever, like high spike of fever, and it's gone. 2 days later, you start having one at a time, a lot of skin rash. And the skin rash is very, very characteristics for the chickenpox. The infectious, how contagious the chickenpox are, it starts 2 days before the rash and until all the chickenpox pimples are crusted. So you need to immediately, if your kid have a chickenpox or you have it or anyone from your neighbors, you need to isolate yourself, let the kid stop going to school for the next week until their pimples or their scars are actually crusted and almost gone. Because they could infect other people and they could be sick and having tiredness and malaise and loss of appetite. The whole body will be just like any other flu, but with a lot of very, very, very itchy skin. All right, of course, we know, just like every other movies and everyone in TV tells you, do not itch, do not itch, do not itch, which is very, very true, because if you itch a lot, you'll have the scar to the rest of your life, and you would still have treatments for the scar, by the way. You can have ointments later on, you can have laser therapy later on to take the scars out, but why to have all of that? You can just stop itching and it will go within a week or two. So you should know that the disease is very okay to have. It's just 1 week at home and you'll be fine. It's just the hard part about it is to not itch. And that's basically it. It's just like any other flu. So you don't need to be scared if your kid has it, or I'm sure we all, 90% of people have it. Some adults still have it just because they didn't have it when they were kids. Why do we always say they have it once? Because the immunity is very, very, very strong. So if you have chickenpox once, you might not ever have it ever in your life. So you'll be very okay to be in contact with a person who has it. Unless very few number of people, like very, very, very few, like less than 1% of people, they could have it twice. Maybe because their immunity at that time is very weak. Maybe because their immunity in the beginning was weak, so they would have it again. So why wouldn't we have it to the rest of your life? Because the small virus could stay on your nerves dormant or inactive, and it could never happen again. But sometimes, very, very small times, in very weak people with weak immunity, this could actually, the nerve could be activated again, the virus could be activated again, and it will cause a disease called shingles, which is very, very, very acute disease with a fever and acute infection. It also could be treated within a few days. So in general, chickenpox is not dangerous at all. Unless, again, very few cases with weak immunity could have secondary bacterial infection. So it's a virus, but sometimes it could have, because your whole immunity will be very weak while having a virus. So you might have secondary bacterial infection. You might have something called encephalitis. It's a disease in your brain. You might have pneumonia, which is infection of your lung. So these things are very rare to happen, and very few people, if they have not treated themselves right away, or they have weak immunity, or they live in a place with a lot of bacteria and infections. So make sure if you have the disease, you isolate yourself, you stay at home, you stay healthy, you drink a lot of fluids, you have all the rest possible for you to have the disease gone. So that's basically it for chickenpox. Please always make sure whether if you, the first you get the pimples and the crust, you should always isolate yourself. That's the most important thing. What is the treatment for chickenpox? Basically, it doesn't have any treatment. Just it's self-limited and self-limiting thing. But if you have high symptoms, like the fever is very high, you can take paracetamol. Never, ever give aspirin to children. Never, because it could cause really bad kidney diseases. So children or not, just take paracetamol. It's the basic, most safe, even for a pregnant lady is safe. So safe drug to have it. If there's a lot of itching, you can put the anti-itch ointment that could have the itching much less. So the treatment is a very symptomatic treatment. It means just makes the symptom better. So does it make it shorter? No. You'll have to stay at home for that week. That's it. You have to just accept that you're staying at home for 1 week, and that's basically it. So you don't have to worry about it when you have chickenpox. So what is the second disease that I'm going to talk about, and the last one today? It's called scabies. Scabies is a bit known as a very yucky, disgusting thing and a very infectious thing, and do not touch a person with scabies and all of that. But it's just a skin disease like any other skin disease. So we don't have to treat the person who has scabies as they come straight out of a garbage. No, it's actually very, very fine, and people have it because of contact. And when I say contact, it doesn't mean if I just handshake one person. No, it's actual contact if you stay with them for a little while. So you don't have to freak out if you got in a very small touch with a person who has scabies. But scabies is not a virus. It's actually small mites, very, very small mites that can go to your skin and lay eggs there and just have a whole happy family inside of your body. So that's why you need to immediately treat yourself. And the eggs could be everywhere, in your clothing, in your house, on your bed, all of that. What does the scabies do? They have little burrows outside your skin. They make their own ways and little pathways for them. And where do they go? Usually in the palms of the hand, in the soles of the foot, underarm, like the armpit, around your neck, underneath the breast and the genitalia. Basically, they hide in the skin creases, anywhere they can find a warm house for them. So what do we do immediately when we find out we have scabies? First of all, the diagnosis of scabies is not like chickenpox. Chickenpox, usually we don't do any tests. It's very characteristic. The second the doctor sees it, they know it's chickenpox. But scabies, no. They need to have skin scraping. The doctor takes a skin test and check for the mites. The second they find the mites, they give you the treatment right away, which is usually just ointments until you become fine. But it does become very contagious until you're absolutely fine. So the second thing you do, you isolate yourself and you wash your clothes with detergents and a lot of hot water for you to kill all those eggs and all that, the mites. And you do it for regularly until you get better, and even a few days after you get better. And you don't let people visit you, of course. And after that, even the things you cannot wash, like the big mattress and all of that, you put them in plastic bags and you isolate them at least for 1 week or 2 for the mites to die automatically without them having anything. So you always need to wash everything. You need to clean all the house. You need to make sure you're fine. But again, you take a type of ointment called permethrin. You put it on your hand and you put it on your whole body actually, because it could be everywhere, even the genitalia and armpits and all of that. So you put the ointment on your whole body multiple times a day, and then you put it for a few days and you'll be just fine. So I don't want us to have this big scare of scabies. Yes, it is very, very annoying to have it. It's annoying to isolate yourself. It's annoying to do all of this, these cleaning of the house. You'd always be very neurotic if you left anything unwashed, but it's very okay to have. And it's a disease that, fortunately, both of them have treatment, and they could be gone any minute. So it's all right to have them. So that's it for today. Please be safe. Please do not get in contact with anyone who has both. Please be very careful whether you have a symptom. Immediately you go to a doctor. We don't usually have the culture of going to the doctor right away, and I'm here to try to fix that. So whenever you feel anything, it will not take you half an hour. Go to the doctor, check yourself, and then make sure you're safe. That's basically it. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day. I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye-bye.